It's an honor to be up here with all these, with such intelligent and very honorable people that has helped. Watching the movie as Resilient, I am a native here in Pensacola, but I also have done 5 years in prison, where I had my son. At 5.5 months, I was sentenced to a 60-month prison sentence. And so having him there and having his father come and get him, and then his father ended up getting a 25-year bid for selling drugs. He had to stay with his paternal grandparents. No visits. Didn't see my son until I came home in 2011, and I left in 2006. The movie spoke volumes. I think I was up there crying because you never know how stressed your children are. I got out of prison in 2011, March 5th, and I hit the turf running because I knew I had a son to take care of. And so by any means necessary, I was trying to get a job, couldn't get a job because I was a convicted felon. So I ended up going to school, living from house to house, staying in a shelter, anything. And I never stopped to realize why he was acting out, because he was worried, seeing me up all night. Sometimes I didn't sleep, going to school, trying to get a degree, just trying to get something for us to be stable, because we had nothing stable. I haven't been stable all of my life. So trying to find stability within myself so I can give stability to my son was a big eye-opener. I hit a lot of boundaries. I hit a lot of brick walls. I made a lot of mistakes. What I thought was behavior problems was really, him trying to adapt to me adapting to him, a mother and bond that for 4.5 years I didn't have. I stayed in the hospital 2 days with him while handcuffed to the bed, and so that was traumatic enough. And I learned in prison how to numb myself, so when I got out in society, I stayed numb to survive. And so once I was able to realize what I was doing and where I was going wrong, I was able to connect with those social workers and staff and school administration to say, hey, he doesn't just need the help, but mom needs, an open door too. Because you, as a mom, a nurturer, all you do is think about what can you do to provide for your children? What can you do to open the door, make a way? Because I knew I didn't want him to go down the same path I did. And so the movie was very, very informative. I believe that Escambia County at its best needs to participate in that, to bring awareness to not only the children but mothers and fathers, because all our children, they worry about something. I would have never known that he was worried and anxiety until, the fact that he was able to tell someone else instead of me. And I was able to open my eyes and see that, the behavior wasn't just because he was a bad kid. It was because it wasn't no stability. It wasn't any foundation. He had no discipline. He had no formality of adult figures, because everyone in his paternal grandparents' house called each other by first name, even the children. So when it comes to mom, he had no face value of who I was. And so working on getting to that point to where we are now, that we're still under the radar, but we're not as high up over the clouds as we once were a couple of years ago. And that is because of therapy. That is because of people coming in home. That is because of me messing up and making mistakes and saying, oh, let me step back and see what I can do differently, but also getting it from a different approach from someone else. And I'm very grateful for resilience. I'm very grateful for where I come from as well, because I'm able to relate and I'm able to see things that other people can't see. because I have traveled that road of abuse, of substance abuse, of violence in the home, of being molested when I was young, or selling drugs and knowing drugs, and then, you know, from coming from prison and then coming home and then trying to be the best that I could be to suffice for him. It was a struggle mentally, and if it wasn't for the grace of God, I think I would have been crazy long time ago in the crazy house. But he, you know, gave me grace and covered me to go through those aspects in life with the help of social workers, Ms. Parker, other people that had stepped in and said, hey, you know, we can help. What can we do? What can we offer you? And it's just not about, and I'm speaking from the parent side, it's just not about assistance. It's just not about money and government money and getting that. Some people really, really need help with their kids. You know, I really needed help. I really didn't know what to do. I really didn't have this family support because nobody wanted to put their hands on the issue of a bad child. Or, you know, and they say, oh, I'm not going to touch that. Because coming up from in my environment and coming out of my culture, people didn't meddle in other people's business. What goes on in your house stays in your house. And so that's how things get swept under the rug, and you don't want to talk about it and get free from what you're going through. And so I had to come from among that and get around people, ones that would talk about it and not be ashamed of it. And so I'm really thankful to be on this panel with all these people. Thank you.